Hello, this is Mrs. Capizzi with the Calculating Cats. Today's review video is for 4-9 and 4-10, how to multiply two-digit by two-digit numbers using the standard algorithm. Now, that's a fancy word, algorithm. So we talked about in class that an algorithm is a step-by-step process to get you your desired result. So for example, I always say that an algorithm is just like a recipe, okay? When you're making a recipe, you follow the steps, and then at the end, you get whatever the recipe was for, hopefully. So let's say I was making brownies, and I skipped all the steps and went to the last step, put the pan in the oven at 350 degrees. Well, if I skip to the last step, I'm not going to have anything in the pan, and I'm not going to have any brownies, so that would be very sad because I love brownies. So I did not follow the recipe. So just like with an algorithm, if you don't follow the algorithm, you won't get the desired result. Just like if you don't follow a recipe, you also will not get the desired result. So let's get into this. All the students in class received this checklist. So as they get more comfortable with the standard algorithm, the need for this checklist might go away, but it is something that they'll have in their binder to take home to help them with their homework. So it just goes through the steps that we did in class, circling the digit in the ones place, multiplying the circle digit times the top number, first the ones, then the tens, then add in any regroups, then we X out the ones place and X out any regroups, put a 0 in the ones place of the next layer. So you need the 0 because you'll be multiplying by the value in the tens place, so that 0 represents that you're now multiplying in the tens place, and that'll make more sense when we get into an actual problem. The fourth step is to circle the digit in the tens place in the bottom number. Number 5, multiply the circle digit times the top number. The ones, then the tens, then you'll add in any regroups, and your last step is to add the two layers together to get your product. So let's go ahead and get into an actual problem. So we were using these inserts for our communicator boards today to help the students keep organized. So I'm going to use that to show you what we were doing in class. So my first step is to circle the digit in the ones place. And then I multiply first times the ones, then times the tens. So 6 times 9 is 54, so I bring down my 4 and I regroup the 5. 6 times 4 is 24, plus my regroup, 24 plus 5 is 29. Then we do our X's and zeros. So I'm Xing that regroup out because I'm done with it. I'm Xing out the 6 because I'm done with that. And now I'm putting my 0 and I'm circling my tens place. So the 0 always goes in the second layer, and now I'm going to work on multiplying by my tens place. First the ones, then the tens. So 3 times 9 is 27, so I drop the 7 and I regroup the 2. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. My last step is that I add together my two layers. 4 plus 0 is 4. 9 plus 7 is 16. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 4 is 7, and 1. And my comma goes here. So the product of 49 times 36 is 1,764. I want to do one more example that we went over in class, that when the basic fact ends in a 0. So for example, if I had 55 times 62, some of the students were having trouble with keeping track of the zeros. So the first thing I'm going to do is circle the 2 in the ones place in my bottom number. Now I'm going to multiply the ones, then the tens. So 2 times 5 is 10, so I bring down my 0 and I regroup the 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. Now we've been Xing out the regroups, Xing out the ones digit, putting our 0 down there, so now that we can multiply by the tens. So now we're ready to multiply by the tens digit. Now, 6 times 5 is 30. And 30 is one of those basic facts that ends in a 0. This 0 is not the same as this placeholder 0, so you have to be careful when you're multiplying by numbers that end in zeros. So this 0 is my place value 0. The next one is going to be 6 times 5, which is 30, so this 0 belongs to the 30, and I regroup the 3. Then 6 times this 5 is 30, plus 3 is 33. So I add up my columns, put in my comma, so the product of 55 times 62 is 3,410. Now it's your time to try it. On a separate piece of paper, I want you to jot down 74 times 67. And you can bring that into us tomorrow so that we can check it out for you. Have a wonderful afternoon, and please email us if you have any questions. Have a great day. Bye-bye.